Good evening. This is Luke Revan, manager here at East Brandywine Township. I'm addressing you in my capacity as the online moderator of this regular session of the Board of Supervisors. Due to the coronavirus pandemic and to protect the health and safety of township officials and our residents, the board is conducting this meeting by webinar. This meeting is being recorded and will be rebroadcast on the township's YouTube channel. Public notice of this meeting was posted on the township's website consistent with Act 15 of 2020. The agenda for the meeting was also posted on the website at ebrandywine.org/agenda center and is visible on your screen. Members of the public can hear us, but your own phones and computer microphones are muted, so we cannot hear you. To enable an organized meeting, we're using the following procedure. As with in-person meetings, I ask that all participants wait to be recognized by the chairman before speaking, and that all comments be directed to the chairman. To be recognized, you must first ask me, in my capacity as the online moderator, to unmute your audio connection. You may request this at any time via the chat feature located on the left side of your screen. Each person recognized by the chairman should state their name and address before posing a question. I'll now turn the meeting over to Chairman Winters.
Good evening. Welcome to the Board of Supervisors May 20th, 2021 regular session. Hope everyone's enjoying the nice weather. Do we have any public comment for agenda items?
Mr. Chairman, when we get to the agenda item pertaining to the fire company, there will be a speaker, but no speakers have asked to be recognized for the purpose of public comment on agenda items.
Okay. Well, then let's go ahead and move on to the reports. Let's go ahead with the East Brandywine Fire Company report for March 2021 from Joe Monastery. If you could promote him, unmute
Yes.
him.
Actually,
Hey,
I
Joe?
cannot. He may be joining by a iPhone or a tablet of some variety. I'm not able to promote him. Let's see. I think the best way to handle this is to have him call in on a landline, or if he's using a phone and the app on his phone to disconnect, and then use the phone as a phone to call in. The webinar's phone number is 1-800-366-4068. And when prompted, the PIN number is 959-870-170.
Hey, Luke, while we're waiting for that, do you want to bounce Ken Ader in and he can start the presentation?
Okay. I see someone in the audience with just the first name on there. I will see if that'll work. Hi, Ken. Can you hear us?
I can. Thank you. Yes, it's not much of a presentation. It's tonight, Deputy Chief Edwards is tied up with the county's EMS ceremony. So Mr. Monaster, our assistant chief, was going to do tonight's report. So I don't have all of his numbers, but I know the main thing that the fire company did want to just share with the board is just some updates on the Firehouse renovation project. So last week, or this past weekend, we did have the event at Stolen Sun, where we raised approximately $15,000. It was a really great, successful event. We do want to thank two members of the community, Jen and Amy, who really coordinated that thing from the get-go. It was a phenomenal turnout and super successful. And to date, we have raised, in conjunction with the mailer that all residents would have received, as well as a few significant donors in conjunction at the event, we have raised about $134,000 in the last 2 months, which has been super exciting, a great way to kick off the project. So, so far that's going good, and that renovation project continues underway. As far as the actual fire department report, I don't have those statistics for Assistant Chief Monaster, but it has been a busy month so far, and they can sure get you those numbers.
Great. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Ken. So we're still trying to get Joe online, but in the meantime, we did have the supervisors did have a chance to review the other reports. So for the township manager's report, the building inspector's report, township roadmaster's report, and East Brandywine Police Department's report, I so move.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Could I add one comment real quick on the police report?
Sure.
I just wanted to take a minute and recognize Lieutenant Jeff Yankanich and Officer Kyle Harnish. I earlier sent aboard an email on the status of our speed trailer. As you know, the speed trailer has been non-functional here probably most of this year. And we got our new digital board in this past 2 weeks ago. And the lieutenant and Officer Harnish spent almost all day Tuesday grinding and painting and welding support brackets for the new sign, and we used the speed trailer part and we retrofitted the new sign to it, and they did a phenomenal job. I mean, we're talking this. I estimate we saved our taxpayers about $10,000 by reusing the trailer part and just putting a new sign on it. And so today we had that thing functional, and it's out on Nichols Mill Road right now. It looks great, and I just wanted to publicly thank the two of those officers for all the work they did on it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Luke, real quick, I just pulled up the fire company report just since they wanted to give a report, and we're not getting. It doesn't look like we've got Joe on the line yet.
Well, actually, it poses a dilemma. Earlier in the meeting, I read a phone number for him to call in on, and I see that there is someone who has joined us by phone, but I don't recognize the number.
I'll go ahead real quick and just read
Yeah,
the
please do.
East Brandywine Township, there was 4 fires, 4 medical responses. West Brandywine Township, there was 6 and 4. Upper Euclid Township, there was 1 and 2. They had mutual assistance in Cowan Township, City of Coatesville, Downingtown Borough, East Fallowfield, Honeybrook, Medina, Euclid Township, Valley Township, Wallace Township, West Cowan, and West Whiteland. The average personnel response was 10. Fuel usage was 117.4 in East Brandywine and 136.8 in West Brandywine Township, for total gallons of 254.2. Estimated fire damage was 500, and total trainings this period was 3. Average number of personnel was 20.
Thank you, Kyle. We'll go ahead and prove that then. I so move.
Second the fire department's report. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, just a point of order. We skipped on the agenda number 4, which is the treasurer's report and authorization to pay bills.
Correct. Yes, we are actually going back to that now. So the treasury report and the authorization to pay bills, if you guys had a chance to take a look.
If I may, Mr. Chairman, I have a few items to draw your attention to in the treasurer's report. First up, at the request of the board at our last meeting, we have handwritten in the balance of the tax collector's account. It will not appear on the township's asset report, but it's not a township asset. It is the tax collector's asset, but it is useful for anticipating collections, and so that is added, and we'd like to start that tradition, just handwriting that on the report.
Great. Thanks for showing it, Luke.
Thank you very much, Luke.
Yeah.
Right. I'd also like to draw your attention to the fact that the first 2 bills for general obligation bond of 2021 Series A and B, which Series A is reimbursable by the municipal authority. That is the refinanced series of 2017, which allowed for the purchase of additional capacity at the Applecross wastewater treatment plant. Series B of 2021 is the refinance of the municipal building, the community park, and the open space fund money for them to begin after the passing of the referendum. So portions of the bill that satisfies Series the developer fee in lieu of recreation fund.
Great. That's great. Thank you. You guys had a chance to take a look at the checks?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Kyle?
Yeah, I had enough time.
Job.
Make a motion to accept the treasurer's report and authorization for staff to pay the bills.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
These two, the release number 2, Luke?
Yes. So included in your packet is a memo from Township Engineer Nate Klein of Pannoni. In that memo, he recommends the release of escrow funds from the Mapleview development. So when the board is prepared to do so, appropriate motion would be to authorize township staff to execute the document called Declaration of Completion Escrow Release Number 2. If so approved, the reduction of the escrow, I'm sorry. Forgive me, I got to get these numbers straight. The amount recommended for this release is $473,660.90.
Also move.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you, Luke. Moving on now to Bonzo Mill Garden Project Phase 2, the purchase of soil on the state contract.
Yeah, I have a quick update, and then I would respectfully ask the board to table this agenda item. As you know, Phase 1 of the Bonzo Mill Garden Project was the removal of a concrete pad. Phase 1 was supported, Phase 1 and 2 for that matter, were supported from grant dollars from both the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and Chester County. Phase 1 is complete. The concrete pad has been removed. Phase 2 is the purchase of soils to fill the area left exposed after the removal of the concrete pad. And the Bonzo Mill Committee would like to use a vendor who has a state contract, which would provides a shortcut for us to not do advertised sealed bids. They're doing their diligence by soliciting multiple state contractors to submit proposals. We've received proposals from 3 state contractors, but there were some irregularities in the materials, and we would like a little more time to look that over before making a recommendation to the board. So at this time, I'd respectfully ask this be tabled until the next meeting of the Board of Supervisors.
Sure. No problem at all. Thank you. Excuse me. Moving on now to the response to the DEP's letter of February 17th, 2021, the Weaver Track Sewer Facilities Planning Module that was extended by the DEP to May 24th. Mark? You there?
Good evening. There was a draft letter that was submitted to the township for the manager's approval to submit to DEP because it is the township plan under the Act 537. It's for the township to respond with regard to the particular planning module for the Weaver Tract. The draft letter has also received input from the authority and from the developer. We looked at some of the language. We conferred with the township engineer, made some changes to the letter that township engineer and I both recommend to the board for approval to have Luke sign and send to DEP.
Okay.
There's no questions. Also move that Luke send this letter out on behalf of the township.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome.
Now, moving on to the revised guidelines for in-person meetings and township events. Luke?
Right. So when we wrote the first draft of this agenda, it was Friday of last week. And Thursday of last week, the Centers for Disease Control revised its mask guidelines. The gist of their recommendation is that individuals who have been vaccinated no longer need to wear masks, either in indoor or outdoor settings. We also were anticipating the expiration of the state declaration of emergency on today, May 20th. But we didn't quite know how this would shape out because there was a third variable, and that is that on Tuesday's ballot was a matter pertaining to the legislature being able to override the governor's declaration of emergency. Shortly before our meeting began, Governor Wolf did extend the emergency declaration. And the reason why that's important for the board's consideration is because in 2020, the legislature passed Act 15 of 2020. And if that's familiar, it's because it's the act I referenced in my introduction that allows us to host remote meetings. Had the emergency declaration expired, we would not have been able to continue meeting 100% virtually. Even in the before times, we could have had a meeting that was hosted in our meeting hall, but two of the three of you could have joined remotely, and that would have been fine for the purposes of the quorum. But the only way that citizens could have participated would have been if they were in the meeting hall and could pose the question. So we're at a point where at any minute the legislature could decide to end the state's declaration of emergency, and therefore we would need to be back having our meetings in person. And I want to get the pulse of the Board of Supervisors on your ideas about returning to in-person meetings.
Thank you. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm for it. If we're able to go and do it, I'd like to get back to in-person meetings.
I would as well. I don't know, does it make sense to limit the amount of number to a manageable number just in case for the foreseeable future?
Right. So my recommendation, if we're going to be pursuing an immediate return to in-person meetings, is that all committees of the township, the Board of Supervisors, the Planning Commission, et cetera, meet in the meeting hall. That the meeting hall be posted that masks are required, and that there be no opportunity for members of the public to participate remotely. I will say
one or the other. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's either in person or it's remote. I think the hybrid meetings is taxing on staff to manage both an in-person and a remote audience, and I don't think we have the resources to do that.
I agree. I think that, okay.
Luke, what is our?
Vaccinated though? Do you need to wear a mask if you've been vaccinated?
Well, per the CDC guidelines, no, you do not. But we as building owners could require that. So individual business owners and property owners can require mask wearing, and that's what a great many members of the business community are struggling with right now. Do they require masks or do they not? I'd say it's our prerogative to require masks for all individuals or to require masks for only those who have not been vaccinated. I think as a practical matter, we're not, whatever decision, if we decide to allow people to go maskless, it's not enforceable. There's no way I'm going to be able to verify that they've been vaccinated.
All right. Well, I mean, we don't, typically get too many people at our meetings anyway, but What do you guys think about masks if you're not vaccinated or all masked?
I don't have a problem with anyway. I just want to make sure Luke feels comfortable with, you know, with how the meetings go, that's all.
Yeah. Well, then let's leave it up to Luke then. Luke, it's really up however you feel as your staff and, what do you think, Kyle, about that?
Well, let me. I'm sorry, Kyle, if you don't mind, just let me elaborate on why I made the recommendation I did. I made the recommendation that we open the meeting hall, and that all meetings be held in the meeting hall, and that the building be posted with masks are to be worn by all parties. I did so because the other part of my recommendation is that we eliminate the online means for citizen participation. So if you imagine yourself in the shoes of an individual who is for some reason unable to get the vaccine or is in a high risk group, I want them to feel comfortable coming into the meeting hall. And
Okay.
I think that the best way to do that is to require masks. I don't want to cut off this as a venue for public participation for people who don't feel
Right.
safe.
Yeah. Okay.
But you want everybody to feel comfortable if they do come in, that's
Yeah.
all.
Exactly, and that, hence my recommendation, because we would be doing right now. There could be people in our digital audience who really appreciate that we're hosting these sort of meetings online and would be afraid to attend in person. And I want to do
Right.
everything I can to make it friendly.
Luke,
I
do
agree.
you think I would think that anybody speaking would have the opportunity to take the mask off only because things can get misconstrued, and I think that's easier for the person that's talking. But obviously, they would be coming up to the podium in front of the board anyway, so they would have a distance separation between the regular crowd, so to speak.
Yeah, I think that's fine. But I do
Sure.
like vision, so.
Let me describe the rules that are currently in place for staff. We wear masks in all common areas of the building, but we remove masks at our individual workstations. So it's certainly not it's not inconsistent with the current use of the building if we had an area that was secure enough for a mask to be removed. But I thought for simplicity's sake, just wear a mask in the meeting hall it's easy to put on a poster, shall we say.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fine.
All right, I'm good. I'm okay with that. Good. Moving on then, there's no subdivision or zoning applications, no ordinance or resolutions consideration. Public comment on non-agenda items. I believe we have Ms. Ratcliffe from Hopewell Development here with us tonight. Ms. Ratcliffe?
I'm actually not seeing her in the audience here unless she has joined by phone. I do believe I was able to promote Assistant Chief.
Monastery.
Yes.
Does he have anything that he would like to add to Kyle's or Ken's remarks earlier while we're trying to get Ms. Ratcliffe on?
Sorry,
Can you-
I do see I do, and it's going to be exactly the same problem. This is another great reason why I'm looking forward to meeting in person here. I see someone in the audience who has logged in as Jen and Tracy, and I suspect that corresponds.
Yeah, Ms. Mabry.
But I am unable to promote them to become speakers.
Can you guys hear me? This is Joe from the Firehouse.
Yes,
Hey,
Joe.
Joe, how you doing?
I'm well. Honestly, gentlemen, I'm going to say, one, it's great to speak with you, but two, Kyle, you did a phenomenal job, and I could not have done better myself. And I'm going to promote you to deputy chief here in a minute. And Ken touched on all the things that I wanted to bring up, but I just did want to recognize that I am here, and I appreciate everything that you gentlemen have done for us.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Luke,
Hey,
anything you'd like-
hey, Luke, can you promote Tracy at the end there?
No, that actually doesn't help me. I can't promote the user logged in as Jen and Tracy, and I cannot promote the person logged in as Tracy Mabry.
Is that because it's from a cell phone or?
I actually don't have a complete inventory of incompatible devices. I would say the most frequent incompatibility comes from uh, Apple tablets. I think that's the most frequent problem that comes up. So, but I actually don't. I don't have a comprehensive list of every device that someone could use that wouldn't be able to speak. I think that the agenda item itself, and I have seen typed comments here, that these are residents of the Hopewell development and seeking an update on their concerns on um, the sorry, I'm reading and
Traffic
speaking at
impact
the same time. Yeah, the traffic concerns, both in terms of volume cutting through the Hopewell development, particularly Ferndale and Brookhaven, and the speed of traffic cutting through Hopewell development, Brookhaven, and Ferndale. And that was a topic of conversation at our last meeting.
Yeah, I believe that we approved, to look into getting a few sets and then put them there, the portable sets, and then if it is successful and HOA is amenable to the idea and would like to move forward with it, then they would be permitted to purchase that set off of us, so we would be able to replenish it for the next development that may have a concern.
And I talked to Matt 2 days ago to see if he had gotten any kind of cost estimates from Andreas, and he said he hadn't, and I asked him to please follow up to get those, to get the numbers of those, the bumps.
So we need the pricing and availability of the portable speed bumps to be able to have them installed in the development, if it's acceptable to the HOA. That's something that needs to be done then. Getting tired of being bummed. We're doing the best we can. I don't blame you though. It's been a while. So can we get down this, Luke? Can we get Andy to get on this ASAP? And if he's busy, then Nate, or even Matt can get pricing and get the order going.
Yeah, I'll we'll follow up and make an agenda item for our first in-person meeting on June the 3rd.
It's already been approved. I think we just need to bring the idea to the HOA to make sure they're acceptable to it, and then tell them what we're going to do and where, and then actually get the speed bumps on the schedule to get installed. So that's kind of where we're at, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think, I don't know, I can't remember if we were buying 2 or 3, whatever.
I think the chief said we need like a set of 4, I think.
Is that what it was?
A set of 3.
Yeah, well, the specifics.
She's asking about the crosswalk. We don't know about that yet, Ms. Mabry, until we actually find out about the portable bumps and it actually works. I don't know about, maybe we could incorporate a crosswalk, but I think they have to be I think this has to be in the specific places on your streets, which is that one, I think it has X amount of straightaway, 300 yards, I believe he said, or 300 feet of straightaway in order to, from an intersection, in order to have it properly used. So, but we need to get on this though. So, okay, Luke?
Got it.
Great, thank you. Then we can follow up with HOA as soon as possible as well. All right. Thank you. We did meet in executive session for litigation matters, 6 p.m. This evening. And do we have any motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.